Hi folks, my name is Dean Douglas and I am doing a test vlog video. I don't know how many days I'm going to be doing this, but I'm going to try to do it for 2 weeks. Typically that's how long it takes to develop any sort of habit. And so I thought this would be an interesting experiment that I can record myself for a short amount of time. I think each kind of episode will be, say, anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes of me talking. And it might be, I thought, therapeutic for one to talk out loud some thoughts that are in my head, vocalize and get thoughts outside of my head. And if it benefits anyone in the meantime, great. And just kind of put myself out there more digitally is also kind of terrifying. And I thought, let's get a little bit more comfortable with being uncomfortable. So so I'm just going to give it a shot, and it's just going to be talking about various different things that are going on each day. Today it is April 29th, and COVID has been going on since, at least in Canada, for probably a couple months now, and it's getting pretty normal, our new normal, which is really weird. But anyways, this is probably in part just a coping mechanism as well, that I can just share some thoughts that are going on in my head. So first thing that I wanted to do is talk about what opportunities there are for people to do during this very strange time that we're living in. And I think one of them is actually, I would encourage people to reach out and volunteer in as safe a way as possible, given the distancing and current state of things. But I think volunteering is very important and shouldn't just be done during this strange time during COVID. But a lot of nonprofits and for-profits need support, and a lot of people have been laid off, but they have skills, and maybe they're getting cabin fever at home. And I think a lot of companies could still benefit from volunteers offering skills to their organization. And I think nonprofits definitely, there's opportunity there. I come from a marketing background, and typically nonprofits have a smaller, low budget team size for marketing. And so if you have a skill set in the marketing field, I would reach out to them and say, I have these skills. What can I assist you guys with? What are you working on? What can I help you with? And you never know, that might actually potentially lead to future paid employment. It might also lead to just building really awesome relationships with people that you haven't had before or previously. So it could lead to a lot of things. And so I think reach out, volunteer. There's, Google nonprofits in your city, and a ton will pop up, and reach out to one that catches your eye. They usually have a contact page or a phone number or something. And so I think that's a really, really awesome thing to do. I mean, you can even reach out to like local small businesses. A lot of those have been struggling during this time, even if it's like a local clothing manufacturer, clothing company. Just reach out to them and just offer your help. Come across genuine, obviously. That's key. But I think a lot of people would really appreciate, and a lot of people have been doing this, and it's awesome, and just want to encourage more people to do so. Second thing is I would recommend is to create something right now. I think this is the time to create and use I think it's the left side of your brain when you are being artistic or just creating something. And it can be anything from, say, a social media post to a podcast, or a piece of art like painting or sketching. Sketching, you just need a paper and pen, and just take a picture, scroll through your phone and see what images you really like, and try and sketch those, and try to do it in 5 minutes or less. You know, like put a little bit of time into it. It doesn't have to be sit down for 2-3 hours and work on something. It can be for, you know, 5 minutes. Anything. I think just creating, getting out of your head and working, focusing on something would be really awesome. Or you could even handwrite some letters to people. I think that's always a really nice gesture, and we're kind of going back in time in a lot of ways. So I think a letter, handwritten letter, would be really cool to receive, and to also go through the process of writing and sending. And say you have a business, create a business page, or level up on your digital marketing, or you know, put some attention into an area that you haven't, or maybe have been like putting off for a period of time. So that's the second thing. So first thing is like go out, volunteer, or just offer your support or services to organizations, nonprofits, small, medium, large size businesses. Second thing is create something. The third one that I just want to let people know exists. There's a lot of online free courses. So if you want to learn something new, this is a great time for learning new things. There's tons of free courses out there, from like searching how to X on YouTube to full-fledged developed courses. And one that I found, that I enrolled in and I haven't started yet, but am very intrigued, and I hope that I do put time into it, is it's called CX50, and Harvard Business School actually has put on their website for free a computer science course. And I always thought that computer science had to do with computers and science, and it actually doesn't. It has to do with more my understanding, basic understanding, algorithmic thinking, and processing tasks, and how to look at problems or situations and know kind of what steps to take, and just like helps with your thinking process. So that's something that's intriguing to me, and I'll put a link to it in the description as well. But if you Google CX50, computer science, Harvard Business School online course for free, something along that variation, you'll find it. You'll be able to register, and you can go at your own pace. So that's awesome. And then the fourth thing that I want to recommend, if anyone has ever thought of starting a business, now's a great time to actually start a business if you have time, which a lot of us seem to have a lot of time on our hands. So that's actually something that I'm in the process of doing. I want to create my own business. So it's going to be called Douglas Marketing. And so I'm going through the process of incorporating and getting bank business account set up. I've reached out to a local artist here in the Okanagan, and I want to partner with him. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can work on some of the branding, logo creation, and I have some really neat ideas with how it's going to look somewhat, but I want to work with this artist to kind of flesh out those ideas and have them be created. I have it in my head. I just need someone to actually execute on that particular piece. I've built a website which still needs some work, and I'm going to be doing some updating on that. The URL is www.douglasmarketing.ca, and just start reaching out to businesses. I want to focus on supporting local and small businesses in the Okanagan, and also in Winnipeg and just Manitoba in general, my hometown, where I was born and raised. So, but I live now in Penticton, BC. So I want to start here in Penticton and then branch out to other areas of the Okanagan and support them with either websites, social media, and just overall online strategy. I think a lot of businesses could definitely need support in just developing an online strategy now more than ever. So I think there's a need there, and I guess another reason why I'm doing this is also to get the word out there as well, and then I have to execute on it because I'm putting myself out there now. So holding myself accountable as well in some sense. And I guess I'll do a little bit more chatting about my business next episode, just talking out loud. That gives me some thoughts on what I can talk about perhaps tomorrow. So I think that's it for today. Just wanted to keep it short and sweet. Thank you for listening. If anyone does listen to this, great. If not, it was helpful to just vocalize 4 things in my head today. So yeah, just a last review, reach out to local businesses. Nonprofits are something I would recommend, but doesn't have to be. And volunteer, you have a skill set, companies need it, and that would be, I think, very enriching for both the organization and you as an individual. It's kind of a win-win there. Create something, learn something, do an online free course, and last one would be start a business. And that's it for today. So hopefully you guys took something out of this, and feel free to comment or reach out to me. And yeah, we'll do this again tomorrow. Thanks. Have a great day. Cheers.